Self-awareness changes your entire life. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself why you do the things you do? Why you get upset when someone gives you feedback? Or why you keep falling into the same habits and patterns, no matter how hard you try to change? What if I told you the secret to changing your whole life, your happiness, your confidence, your relationships, starts with one thing: self-awareness. In this video, we're going to talk about what self-awareness really means, how it can completely change your life, and some simple ways to build it every day. By the end, you'll see yourself and your world in a whole new way. And make sure you stick around until the end, because I'll share an easy daily exercise that can boost your self-awareness right away. Let's start with the basics. Self-awareness isn't just knowing your favorite food or that you're more of an introvert or extrovert. It's being able to really see yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits, and understand how they shape your behavior. Most of us go through life looking out the window, blaming people or situations for how we feel. But self-awareness is like holding up a mirror. It's about asking, what's my part in this? What can I learn about myself here? There's a famous quote by Carl Jung that says, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." That means if you don't understand what's going on inside you, your old habits and emotions will run your life, and you'll think it's just the way things are. For example, you might think, my boss stresses me out. But with self-awareness, you might realize, I get stressed because I take criticism personally. That small shift from blaming others to understanding yourself changes everything. There are two main types of self-awareness: internal and external. Internal self-awareness means you understand your values, emotions, and motivations. You know what drives you and what matters most. External self-awareness means you understand how others see you and how your actions affect them. You need both. If you only focus on what's inside, you might have strong opinions and emotions, but no idea how you come across to others. And if you only care about how others see you, you might lose touch with who you really are. The real power comes when you balance both, when you understand yourself and also understand how you show up in the world. Here's the truth, though. Most people aren't very self-aware. A study by psychologist Tasha Eurich found that 95% of people think they're self-aware, but only 10 to 15% actually are. Why? Because being self-aware means being honest with yourself, and that's not easy. It's uncomfortable to admit your flaws, your fears, and your mistakes. It's easier to blame someone else or stay busy and distracted. But here's the thing, real growth starts with that uncomfortable honesty. The moments when you say, yeah, that was on me, are the moments that change your life. Now, let's talk about how self-awareness can completely change your life. First, you gain emotional control. When you understand what's going on inside, you don't get swept away by your emotions. You start noticing them instead of being ruled by them. You might say, I'm not angry, I just feel disrespected, or I'm not sad, I'm just tired. That clarity helps you respond calmly instead of reacting out of frustration. Second, your relationships get better. When you know your triggers, you stop taking everything personally. You communicate more clearly and take responsibility for your emotions instead of blaming others. I used to have a friend who always canceled plans at the last minute. It really annoyed me. But when I reflected, I realized it wasn't about them. It was about me feeling unimportant. Once I understood that, I could talk about it calmly instead of getting angry. That's the difference awareness makes. Third, you make better decisions. When you know your values and emotions, your choices become clearer. You stop saying yes out of guilt or no out of fear. You start making decisions based on what feels right for you, not what other people expect. Fourth, you become more confident. True confidence doesn't come from acting tough or pretending you have it all together. It comes from knowing yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, your limits. When you accept yourself fully, you stop comparing and competing. You just start living as your real self. And finally, you grow mentally and emotionally. Self-awareness is the root of all personal growth. You can't change what you can't see. Once you become aware of your patterns and choices, you have the power to change them. That's how you evolve. So, how do you build self-awareness? Here are 5 simple habits that can help you start today. Number 1, reflect at the end of each day. Take a few minutes to ask yourself, what went well? What didn't? What did I feel today and why? You don't need to write a long journal. Even a few quick notes help you notice your patterns. Number 2, take mindful pauses. Before reacting, before sending that text, Before making a big decision, pause for a second and ask, what am I feeling right now? That tiny pause gives you space to respond instead of react. Number 3, ask for honest feedback. Find someone you trust and ask, what's one thing I do that might annoy people or hold me back? It's not easy to hear, but it's incredibly valuable. Feedback is like a mirror. It shows you things you might not see yourself. Number 4, watch your triggers. Notice the moments when you feel defensive, jealous, or anxious. Instead of trying to push those feelings away, ask yourself, what's really behind this? Your emotions are signals. They're trying to tell you something important. Number 5, spend time alone. Turn off the noise for a while. No phone, no TV, no distractions. When you sit with your own thoughts, you start hearing your inner voice again. That's when you really start to understand yourself. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. Self-awareness isn't always fun. Sometimes it's hard. You'll see parts of yourself that you don't like. You'll realize where fear or pride has shaped your choices. But that's okay. Awareness doesn't mean judging yourself. It means seeing clearly so you can grow. The more honest you are with yourself, the freer you become. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And share your thoughts in the comments. What's something new you've learned about yourself lately? I'd love to hear your reflections in comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this about psychology, mindset, and personal growth. Until then, stay curious, stay aware, and keep growing.